Hey Safia, don't you think it's crazy how we're already a month into quarantine? I mean, it really felt like it was just yesterday when school shut down.
Yeah, and spring break has just went by and I didn't even realize we were in April.
And even though AP exams are in about a month, it'll come in a blink of an eye.
Oh god, don't remind me of that. Let's just get started with the show. I'm Safia.
And I'm Suleiman. Welcome to show 36. One thing this virus has not been slowing down is Apache news. So if you're the type of person who loves the grind, then you should consider joining our advanced media production program. The deadline to apply has been extended to April 24th, and you can find the application at apachenews.usd.net/join. Best of luck.
As students, we may forget about our fellow staff and teachers and how they're handling the situation. It may come as a shock, but just like us, they also have lives outside of school. Today we have Miss Dillman bringing you an update on the current situation and also an insight how she'd like to spend her time at home.
Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. I really miss you and I definitely wish we were at school right now, but hope you're doing well at home. You may have seen on social media that I recently got engaged. This is my fiance, Kevin.
Hello, everybody.
We have been staying really busy during the quarantine. We're both working from home and I am in meetings all day long, really busier than the normal school year. I keep telling everyone what I found is working from home means always working, and that's fine because I'm working for you guys and I love you. Kevin, what have you been doing to stay busy during the quarantine?
Besides working, watching a lot of Netflix, going on some long walks.
What did you like best on Netflix? Have you been binging anything?
Tiger King and Ozark.
We did watch Tiger King in, I think, 2 days, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
We're on Ozark now. We also watched The Mandalorian and Lock and Key.
Yeah, Lock and Key.
Yeah, I'd recommend all those things. Probably The Mandalorian has been my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Yeah,
it's very good.
I'd also say that we have been cooking more, but what would you say?
It's an equal amount.
I'd say Kevin has been cooking more, but we're trying to just focus on the positive things. This is a really uncertain time, and I know that for you, you're probably feeling really cut off, and I hate that. We have a lot of information coming up, especially for seniors and summer school. There are a lot of things that change constantly, so it's hard to have, a decision we make today changes tomorrow, but I think that we're coming around to some more solid plans for what's going to be feasible. And every week we will be sending out an updated FAQ, and every day we're having live Q&A sessions, and those will be sent to your parents and you can find out the codes. And starting next week, we will have a topic for every day. So be sure to check that out and find out which topics matter to you, and we'll get you all that information. In the meantime, email us, email your teachers. We're still here, and I'm really hoping that you're doing well. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
All this time I've had to myself really allowed me to hone in on my vocal abilities, but even in the shower, I still sound really bad. But if you think you've got that talent for singing, then you should try for choir. Online submissions are open from April 22nd to the 24th, and their Google Classroom code is down below. So work those riffs, Apaches.
During the chaos and confusion during these times, Arcadians are doing their part to flatten the curve by staying at home. However, there are a few standout individuals who have gone above and beyond by working to protect businesses, hospitals, and members in our community. We spoke to these local heroes to find out who they are behind the masks.
Starting earlier this week, businesses around LA County are now required to wear masks. Meanwhile, Arcadia has been ahead of the curve for over 4 weeks due to residents like molecular biologist Dr. Mark Buddy, who took it upon himself to provide surgical masks to those risking infection.
I was looking on Facebook, on WeChat, calling anybody I knew that was doing importing, medical supplies, anything. And I was able to get a hold of about 10 to 12,000 masks. 4 people really pitched in and showed up at my house, and I gave each of them 1,000 to 2,000 masks to distribute to any business they could find that was open in Arcadia and Monrovia.
He gave Ziploc bags containing 7 single-use masks and instructions how to wear them properly to anyone with high risk of infection and to whoever wanted any. They also distributed packs of 20 masks to local grocery stores, small businesses, restaurants, and hotels. Another individual who's taken upon himself to make a difference is Arcadia High School student Weber Lin, who's spending his free time making 3D printed N95 grade masks.
Since I have 3 printers, it's about 1 mask per hour. I mean, it really depends on the size. Processing and the assembly afterwards, that can take 5 minutes a mask. I've made like 230 masks by now. So I think these are better because they're reusable. So once you're done with it, you just wash it. You can bleach them. You can use just soap and water. Either way works. They also use N95s as filters. So N95s are the masks that are used to like keep coronavirus out if you know you're being exposed. And these, you just cut out a little section of that N95 mask and you stick it in here. That way you can use each N95 mask multiple times.
If you have a 3D printer, would like to donate, or are in need of a mask, you can contact Weber using either of these 2 emails. As of Thursday, Arcadia has 26 confirmed cases and no recorded deaths of COVID-19. Director of the Department of Public Health, Barbara Ferrer, recently mentioned the Safer at Home order is expected to start being lifted later on in the month of May. We'll have coverage on that in the upcoming weeks. This has been Quinn Hettich reporting for Apache News.
With everyone told to stay at home, it can be really tough to go out and buy groceries. But luckily, the Arcadia Unified Nutritional Services are offering free drive-thru meals at the Arcadia High School PAC parking lot from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. every weekday. All eligible students will be given a free grab-and-go meal under the age of 18. All details have been emailed to eligible families for more information.
Amidst all the changes that have taken place this year, due to COVID-19, the Associated Student Body has adapted to keep the poll on the roll. Here's Valerie with more info on this year's ASB elections.
During this time of the year, we typically see students passing out laminated backpack tags and holding up campaign posters around campus. But because of the current circumstances we are facing, ASB had to quickly come up with a plan moving forward with online elections. Before COVID-19, the ASB election was conducted completely on campus. However, given the current situation, ASB had to make some adjustments and weigh in many factors to ensure an equal playing field for all candidates.
The first thing we did was we made both of those meetings into online Google Meet meetings, the informational meeting and the mandatory candidate meeting. We also made all of the forms that students had to submit online Google Forms, their application, their registration, and also their petition. They weren't required to go out and get signatures, but they did have to get digital submissions from their classmates. As far as campaigning is concerned, instead of having physical posters, we had them turn in digital posters that they created. We're also allowing in the finals for people running to submit videos, campaign videos, and we're keeping those consistent to keep it fair and equitable as well.
Elections are going smoothly. It's great that everyone's adapted well in these times, and yeah, we're very grateful for everything that the student body has done to make this process happen.
The Associated Student Body is meant to represent you and your voice, so before placing your vote, make sure to read the candidate statements posted on the ASB website and be an informed voter. If you have any further questions, look over ASB's FAQ document posted on the class Facebook pages or contact Ethan Vuong, the ASB Vice President. Preliminary elections will start next Monday. As usual, ballots will be sent out to all student emails. Good luck to the running candidates. This has been Valerie reporting for Apache News.
If you're running out of things to watch or listen to during quarantine, the DCI has you covered. They will be releasing a brand new Keepin' It Arcadia podcast, which will contain interviews, including our very own Apache News advisor, Mr. Sunez, along with a Jeopardy contestant, AHS alumni, Xiaoke Yang. Be sure to check out this weekend's episode, which will be available on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean.
Did you enjoy your spring break, Suleiman?
As my final break in high school, it was actually pretty decent. How about yourself?
Well, last week felt like any other week, but I did start to make some masks for my family and friends.
That's great to hear. I'm curious what our fellow Apaches were up to during this past week, though. Maybe I can find some inspiration to cure my boredom.
Yeah, they seem to have accomplished quite a lot. Let's take a look at what they did while we go on a break.
During spring break, I slept a lot, I ate a lot, and I watched a lot of Netflix.
During my spring break, I made boba, watched anime, played StarCraft, took some classes, and did AP Prop.
During spring break, I tried studying for my AP test, but instead, I baked a lot and watched Netflix.
During my spring break, I continued to kill my sleep schedule.
During spring break, I painted and read this book.
During spring break, I woke up late, I played some League, I played some Valorant, which is a new FPS game, and I stayed at home because it's quarantine.
During spring break, I learned how to play the guitar, and I also made some pretty good homemade boiling crab. Y'all should give it a try.
Even though we are in tough times, this fellow Apache alumni continues to find ways to wow us all. We are proud to announce that our very own Xiaoke Yin has just won the Jeopardy College Championship semifinals. She will move on to the finals and compete today, so we should all cheer her on and wish Wish her the best of luck. Once an Apache, always an Apache.
The controversial practices of video game companies utilizing in-game microtransactions and loot boxes have led the ESRB to make critical decisions in the gaming world. Here's Kamal with the details and a list of the best new video games you can get your hands on.
Microtransactions, in-game purchases, and loot boxes have suffered heavy criticism for resembling gambling and forcing players into spending real money. After years of outcry against EA and Activision's unfair practices, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, aka ESRB, has released a new interactive element. Going forward, all games with in-game purchases such as loot boxes will have an additional label added under the game's ESRB rating. The decision will mainly help inform parents that there is an option for their children to buy additional items with real money before buying the game. Although many are in agreement that this would serve as a suitable warning against companies to abuse the system, some disagree, stating that this is not enough and that more actions need to be taken.
If there are games with real money gambling, I think they should be labeled as adult only because the risk is a lot higher than gambling for in-game items. Now, I personally have spent money on games before, and it was because I was young and not aware of the market and how a game might seem free when it really isn't.
Since we are talking about video games, I decided to compile a list of 3 must-play new games while in quarantine. We start the list with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, an action RPG where you control Cloud Strife as he joins an eco-terrorist group taking on a mega corporation. It offers a new perspective on the original story told in 1997 while incorporating modern game mechanics. Even though it is the 7th part of the Final Fantasy series, each game is unique, meaning it will provide a great experience whether you are a veteran or newcomer. While the FF7 remake is thrilling and battle-centric, Animal Crossing New Horizons provides calming and friendly gameplay for all walks of life. This game gives you the creative freedom to customize your character and build your perfect world, all while constantly having something to unlock and look forward to. Last but not least, Call of Duty Warzone is a free-to-play first-person battle royale game. In this expansive map, no 2 games will ever be the same, especially because new game modes like Scopes and Scatters are added in every free update. This game supports crossplay, so be sure to get your PC, PlayStation, and Xbox friends together for a good time.
AP exams are coming up fast, so make sure you'll be ready for them. College Board will be hosting a 5-week test prep which will contain different subjects for each day. Be sure to check the College Board website for more updates from your teachers. Good luck.
On our previous show, Baron gave us some workouts that we can all try at home. However, if you still want to be even stronger, Baron is back to share more of his effective exercises and also some advice on how to stay safe while doing these new and exciting workouts.
Yo, what's good, Apaches? I hope you guys enjoyed the last couple of workouts that I was talking about because boy, do I have some new ones for you guys.
Okay, since it's April, that means the water in your pool is starting to heat up and you can start going for a swim. Not only is swimming fun, but it also is a great way to exercise because it works your whole body from your head to your toe by increasing your heart rate, toning your muscle, and building your strength and endurance. And sprinting is a great way to exercise simply for the fact that it burns belly fat really fast. It also improves your insulin, and hey, it even puts you in a good mood.
Exercise has huge benefits for improving cardiovascular function that leads to a decrease in preventable illnesses such as high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, which is hugely prevalent in the US and the world. The biggest thing with training to meet your goals, your physical and your mental health goals, is to be consistent, and the key to better performance and also meeting your physical goals is to keep consistency in your training. So it's not always how hard you push yourself on one given day, it's about doing it for a prolonged period of time.
Are you trying to build your leg, arm, and shoulder muscle but don't have the weights in your house? Well, look no further because you can use your very own couch or chair since it has a good amount of resistance and helps you build up that muscle for both legs and arm. You can also use the jugs of water that your mom buys from the store to work on that shoulder muscle.
Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed all those new and exciting workouts. Remember to stay safe, stay positive, and most importantly, stay strong. This has been Baron, and back to our anchors.
We might not be coming back to school for the rest of this year, but that doesn't mean we forget about next year. So make sure you finish your programming for next year's classes before it's too late. The deadline to finalize your classes is May 1st, but as I said before, that time will come before you know it. So don't forget.
Over the past 7 weeks, our theater documentary crew has been working hard following the spring production of Newsies. On behalf of the doc crew, we are proud to conclude this series with the last episode, where we can see just how things were left as the theater kids were delivered the devastating news and what the future holds for them. Here's Justin with the final episode.
I also want to tell you it's okay to have emotions. They're healthy. It's healing. When we have emotions, it cleanses our body. Right? It's like a cut. When you have a cut, your body bleeds and heals. Right? When we have emotion, our bleeding is water.
We kind of felt that things are going to turn pretty fast a few days ago. It was tough leaving every night. It was tough coming back in every morning, but hearing the news today that we're shut down completely was pretty devastating. And the hardest part about it is, all of the work going into it is on pause, hopefully, for right now.
It's hard to believe that something like this would ever happen, and then not only that, to hear that it's going to be postponed is heartbreaking. And I mean, people were tearing up and crying, and it's just not fun to see that. It sucks.
We were really looking forward towards this day, and since we can't know what official dates we're performing our show, this is kind of the only time we had to run it and just see it all together piece by piece. So it kind of just sucks that I couldn't call at least once, or they couldn't stage manage one time for this show. It's our first musical, so.
Hello, Arcadia Stage cast and crew of Newsies. I know this is challenging times and we're all struggling to make sense of our world, but I want you to know that I am so proud of you. I'm hopeful that we can come back in June or sometime in the summer and do some sort of mini performance or just a recording of it so we have it as a memory. But what's really important is all the bonds that we've created during our rehearsal time and everything that we've learned in that time, and taking that, because that's what we're going to remember in the future when we look back in this situation. So I want you to know that I'm so proud of you, and seniors, you will be graduating, and I know it's not going to be under the best conditions, but we are going to make the best out of it, and we're going to overcome it, because if I know anything, theater kids can always make it work. Enjoy your time and know I'm always here for you, and I'm so proud of you.
Suleiman, this was actually my first time anchoring an Apache news show, and we've already had 36 of them.
Really? This was my first time being quarantined, so I guess this has been a first for both of us, and probably our entire audience too.
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind everyone that this quarantine will only end if everyone does their part and stays at home as much as humanly possible.
Also, make sure to follow us on all our social media platforms listed down below to stay updated on our upcoming shows, events, and more. This has been Suleiman.
And Safia.
Stay sane, Apaches.